to the Harris-Made Chef Services Tailgate Show.
It's a rivalry like none other that goes back 100 years, and it is a rivalry renewed. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Harris-Made Chef Services Tailgate Show and the pregame to Arkansas and Texas. First game being played in 1894 for this is the 80th meeting. It's the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Texas Longhorns. I am Razorback Zach, your host. As always, joined by my two miscreants, Marcus MC Carlton, and behind the boards is Jesse the Beard Thurman. Boys, I'm very full of energy for a Saturday morning, but let's just face it and come out the gate and say this is going to be an ass kicking.
Yeah, I even got up and had coffee this morning, which I'm not a coffee drinker by any means, but I got up, had my coffee, got my energy flowing. But man, I'm having a hard time finding things, positive ways to be excited about this game. I just, Jesse and I talked about this on Thursday night, man. I'm working really hard to find the positives, but I think it's going to be too much Texas, early, often, late. I'm afraid this one may end up much like the Ole Miss game.
Well, okay, but at the same time, all right, Arkansas has found a way to be a spoiler when it comes to playing Texas.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's at some time we could be having the worst season ever, play Texas, and somehow come out and win.
If by some miracle of the level of Jesus walking on the water and turning water into wine, we happen to pull this off today.
It's a hell of a miracle, MC. Come on. Come on.
I mean, I think, hey, Sam can just, let's put him on the cart and let him kind of hobble off into the sunset after this one if he pulls this off today, because this would by far be the biggest win of his tenure at Arkansas.
Well, okay, but at the same token, though, we're only a 14-point underdog, okay?
Which is surprising to me.
This could have easily been 21, 28.
Easily, yes.
Higher up than that.
I mean, 14. I'm struggling not to pick up my phone and go to my little app and lay a little cash on this one with it just being 14, because I'm afraid it's going to be way, way beyond that.
Okay, but at the same time, though, all right, we've played 6 times since 1991.
Yeah.
We've beaten them 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, the last, I did some research on this here a while back when we were looking at different podcasts, and we've got a pod exclusive coming up about the rivalry with Texas. And the last 40 years, we're 7-7. I mean, 40 years. I mean, that's almost my entire lifetime. And we have a 500 record against Texas. So, I mean, the distance that was put between the overall record, I think it's like 56-29 or something like that overall. A lot of that came, before, pre-World War II, and then during the Darrell Royal versus Frank Broyles days. Coach Royal had his way a little bit with Coach Broyles.
Yeah, well, but at the same time, the first game between these two teams, for the first 8 years, we got blanked.
Yeah. It was almost a decade in before we scored any points at all. I mean, it was early on, man. It was bad. But you're also talking, turn of the 20th century, 1894 to.
Well, you're also talking Reconstruction during the Civil War too.
Yeah. I mean, you're
at the same time though. If you look at the grand scheme of college football today, first year of the 12-team playoff, outside of maybe Oregon. Who in the world?
It's wide open.
It's anybody, especially in the SEC.
Yeah.
there could be an 8-way tie. An 8-way tie.
Yeah, if Arkansas happens to pull this off today, the chaos that becomes the SEC standings is just almost beyond comprehension, because it just becomes an absolute gridlock traffic jam.
Yeah, let's pull Jesse in here for a second and get his take on this. Jesse, I know you've been a big proponent of burn it down, as we should say, but what are your thoughts on today?
It'll be over by the end of the first quarter. That spread, what Bet Saracen is failing to tell you is that's their first quarter spread.
Okay.
So you're saying that this game could be used as an example with the rules committee for why a mercy rule is needed?
Yes. Isaiah Bond is about to make Jordan Watkins look like an FCS player.
Yeah, that's not gonna be.
Well,
good.
and I said it Thursday on Dave's show. Is our secondary is not what it needs to be, and we need to put to rest. And I've said this for weeks now. We need to put to rest that Travis Williams is ready to be a head coach. He's not. We need to put to rest that Bobby Petrino is going to save this team and be the next head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. No, he's not. Okay. If you're lucky, Sam retires at the end of the year, and the coaching search begins.
Where do you go though? Where do you go with the search?
You don't go to Rhett Lashley. I am not on that train.
I'm not on the Rhett Lashley train. I'm not on the Barry Odom train either.
No.
Winning at
A little
UNLV
further
is
north in the West, MC.
further north in the West.
He's referring to Oregon's offensive coordinator.
Okay. I don't even know who their offensive coordinator is.
I can't remember his name now. Zach and I were talking about it before we went.
I know Dan Lanning at Oregon, and I mean, kudos to that dude, man. He is wow. The job he's done out there is just insane. I'm gonna look this up real quick.
Well, okay, but if you win today, do you know the implications that this is going to have? Number one, in the SEC, but number two, in the landscape of the playoff. This knocks down Texas to 50-50 of getting in. If they win today, they're in. I mean, it's a lock.
Yeah.
You got 3 games left in the regular season. All right, here's the thing. Regardless of what happens today, for all intents and purposes, Arkansas is going to a bowl game. If you win today.
Look, if they don't, you got to fire Sam. You cannot drop the Louisiana Tech game.
Oh, absolutely.
It can't happen. So
Zach,
I'm pulling up.
Texas ain't a lock quite yet. They got to play Kentucky next week.
And then they finish up with A&M.
Mark Stoops is.
Yeah.
They have played Spuller this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but do you really want Mark Stoops here at Arkansas?
I'm not saying hire Mark Stoops. I'm saying Mark Stoops might beat Texas and keep them out of the SEC championship.
So all right, guys.
Ole Miss.
I'm looking at the standings here on SEC Sports. So right now, you've got Tennessee, A&M, and Texas all with 1 conference loss. Tennessee and A&M are both 5-1. Texas is 4-1. Right behind them is where the traffic jam begins because you have Georgia, Bama, and Ole Miss, and LSU, and Missouri, all with 2 losses. So let's say, and I mean, this is going to, and Georgia and Tennessee play tonight. So, that's honestly, I mean, you could say that's a knockout game. Because whoever loses that one is probably done. Now, if Georgia beats Tennessee, which I think they will, Georgia would be 6-2, Tennessee would be 5-2, and it's like you said, Zach, it's just going to be a mess.
And that's the thing. Chris Fowler was on SEC Nation about 20, 30 minutes ago, which I've got it up here in the hog pen here, and he even said, I don't know how we're going to sort this out. I don't know how you do all your tiebreakers. There's no way.
You think there's any regret going away from the divisions now that you're seeing all this chaos on the cusp of happening?
I honestly think Greg Sankey's going to let this play out before he makes any kind of decision. I think he's sitting back going, let's just see what happens first.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen this for years, though, about on the national level. It's like, okay, well, if this team loses and this team wins and this one, you're going to have all this chaos. Well, the chaos very rarely actually happens. You have all these what-if scenarios, and the what-ifs don't play out, and it ends up working itself out. And I kind of think that's going to be what ends up happening with the SEC.
Right.
I'm old school, man. I like the East and the West divisions. I kind of hate that we went away from that, and I think it would make things a lot more clear in regards to who's going to Atlanta, because right now I have no idea who's going to Atlanta.
There's no telling. Real quick, I want to point out a comment in the Cam Productions live and feedback. My mother is watching, so hi, Mom. I get to say this live on air for the first time in a while, but hi, Mom.
That's cool.
And I got to give my dad props. Happy birthday to him.
Oh.
His birthday is Tuesday, and like I said, we'll wish him a bigger happy birthday on the post game show. And then Brandon Laughlin comes in with probably the comment of the day so far. Arkansas about to give them some good old hog to it. I see what you did there, B. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Well, never mind. I may put that in the private chat instead of
easy there, buddy. Easy there, buddy.
Family friendly, MC. This is
yeah. I caught myself. The filter kicked in and was like, "Whoa, boy."
So I appreciate you guys covering down for me on Thursday night. I've been battling a kidney stone for about a week now, and I think I've finally come out on the downhill slope of it. But it's if you look at the SEC as a whole right now, and we're gonna step back and take a look at the bigger picture. Everybody keeps saying Texas is in the mix. Texas hasn't beaten anybody of note. Texas has not beaten anybody of note. Okay, Georgia. But Georgia's not the Georgia we've known here in the last couple of years.
Georgia smoked Texas. The only quality win Texas has is Vandy.
I don't even think that's a quality win, though.
Well, I mean, just glancing at it, no, it's not. But this year you have to say it's a top 25 win. I'm pulling up Texas's schedule because, yeah, you guys are correct. This is they don't have any quality wins on their schedule. So they open, and I mean, Michigan was supposed to be a quality win at the time. At the time that they beat Texas, that was a quality win because Texas was top 10 team in the country. Michigan was top 10 team in the country. Now, Michigan, as it turns out, is a fraud this year, which was kind of expected. Colorado State, Michigan, UTSA, Texas, what is that? Texas San Antonio, Louisiana Monroe, Mississippi State. Oklahoma was ranked when they beat Oklahoma, but Oklahoma has crashed and burned, much like Michigan. They lost to Georgia.
Ranking.
What's that?
That was a fraudulent ranking.
It was very fraudulent.
You never should have stayed ranked.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so they lost to Georgia. They beat Vanderbilt by 3 on the road. They beat Florida, and then they play Arkansas today. So you guys are right. Vanderbilt is their best win.
Yeah.
I mean, who got paid off to get them this kind of schedule their first year in the SEC?
Don't open that door.
That is the most panty waist schedule. I mean, that puts some of those previous years of Bama schedules, it puts those to shame.
Yeah. Let's get back to this Texas-Arkansas game before we go to a quick break. Arkansas right now is sitting at 4-3 or 3-4 in the SEC, I think.
I still got it here. Hang on.
With a win today,
we are 3-3.
Okay, we're 3-3.
Yes.
With the win, with one more conference win, Arkansas would achieve a 4-4 or better mark in the SEC for just the third time in 13 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay. Since 2012, they hit a 5-3 record in 2015 under Bielema and a 4-4 record with Pittman in 21.
I saw a stat the other day. I think it said with 2 more conference wins that Pittman would become the winningest SEC coach at Arkansas since Petrino. That just shows you how far down we have been over the last decade, 12 years.
Jesse, Brandon Laughlin's comment in the Cam Productions live fan feedback. Can you put that up here? Brandon says, "Do you think the crowd will be as loud as if it was a night game, and will they play a factor today?" You're looking at an 11 o'clock kickoff, which is just about 45 minutes from now.
Yeah.
11 o'clock kickoffs have never been Arkansas's friend.
Never.
Ever. They have. Here's the thing. You've got two things going against you right now. Okay. Number one, it's an 11 o'clock kickoff. All right. It usually always favors the road team. We saw it against who did we play at 11 o'clock this season so far?
Ole Miss.
You saw it against Ole Miss. Okay. 63 points worth. If here's the thing. If Texas drops 63 on us or more today, I'm sorry, but somebody's going to have to lose their job.
Well, I think after the way the Ole Miss game went, I think you can put to rest all of the T.
Hey, MC, your mic's cutting in and out.
How about now? Am I trying to? I would think I was multitasking too much.
Yeah, you're still twitchy.
All right.
He's doing his best Netflix impersonation.
He is doing his best Netflix impersonation. I mean, and here's the thing, and I said this in chat earlier this morning in our team chat when we were getting ready for pregame. I said I only have 2 words for today, and it will go down in history as the most influential motivational speech in the history of motivational speeches, and that was beat Texas. But I went on to say, but let's just keep it under 40. Because we all know it's going to be a massacre. All right, and let's make it a little bit. Let's just go out there and keep it respectable, more respectable than the fight last night. I don't know how many of you got to watch said fight, but Netflix is going to have to do something. But at the same time, the other factor that you have working against you is coming out of a bye week. Before LSU, you were undefeated. You were 4-0 going into the game after a bye week. You can't say that now. Are you really going to go 0-2 this season coming out of a bye week? No.
Oops, my bad. Jumping the gun a little bit.
No. Let's get into that after the break. You're watching the Harris Made Chef Services Tailgate Show on the Sideline Radio Network. Back right after this from Harris Made Chef Services.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics. We at Inside the Hog Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share that SeatGeek is a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Yeah!
All right, so I was mistaken. We were going to go to Harris Made, but it was SeatGeek instead. Which is fine. Okay, welcome back to the Harris Made Chef Services Tailgate Show. I'm Razorback Zach, joined by Jesse the Beard Thurman, and my boy to my right, left, north, south, whatever direction you're facing, is the professionally proven glue that holds the whole damn thing together. You thought I forgot about that, didn't you?
Hey, I found that or actually my wife found that paperwork yesterday, so I still have that.
That is great. We're going to frame it and put it on the wall behind you. Hope everybody had a great week, and it has culminated into today. Now, not only is football winding down, but basketball is winding up. Mm-hmm. But we're going to get more into that on Thursday.
Yep. Got a game Monday night. We will say that.
Monday night, but we will say that. But right now, if you're driving on I-49 in Northwest Arkansas, you might have seen a billboard. Now, there's no name, and I don't know if you can see this, but there's no name on this billboard. Nobody has any idea who put this billboard up.
Let me see if I can blow that up a little more.
But it says,
there we go.
Thank you, Sam, for 5 years. A change is needed to be competitive to compete in the SEC.
And this is where this is at on 49. Somebody else had said on Twitter that the team bus had to go right by it.
Wow.
So I don't know on that.
That is strategically placed.
That is the talk on Twitter. Twitter's having some fun with this, man, including myself. I kind of threw some jabs at Curtis Wilkerson and not necessarily going at him. It was just more of my frustration of why are we continually being told that we should be okay with Sam because he's not Morris. You know, my whole thing was that I just have higher expectations than, well, at least he ain't Morris. That was my whole thing, and Curtis took it as a direct jab to him, which it was not.
Hang on just a second. Jesse, I'm going to take board for just a second.
Let me talk to you.
All right, this is just coming in from Jesse. He has been monitoring things behind the scenes, and he's dropping a note to us now. It says, per pregame radio, Arkansas will make a change at nickelback and start Florida transfer Miguel Mitchell against Texas. Danico Slaughter has been the primary nickel this year. So that, now you're starting to see some of the shuffling around of positions, and you're starting to see, okay, we've got 3 games left. We've got to do something.
I'll be honest with you, man. I have no idea who Miguel Mitchell is.
I have no idea.
That is a name I have not heard all year long.
I'm just reading the notes that our executive producer passes along. So,
and kudos on him for finding that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
here's my thing on that, Zach.
Yeah.
Slaughter's not the problem. Slaughter's one of our best DBs.
Hunter Clark is the problem.
Hud Island is not the problem. Travis Williams is the problem for putting Hud Island on an island when he knows he can't keep up with SEC speed.
That's a fair point.
Okay, but do you have someone that's more experienced that can keep up with SEC speed?
We don't.
No.
But don't intentionally put a player where he can't compete. It's been proven for 4 years he can't compete out there. That's poor coaching.
It is, but the problem is with that, and I'm not, again, everybody's going to come after me saying I'm bashing Hudson Clark. No, I'm not. I'm calling out the position and how he's playing on the field. Okay?
Well, and you know what? Look, these dudes are what happens on the field. I've always felt like that what happens between the lines, they're open to criticism.
Now that they're getting paid, oh yeah.
It's where when people start talking about, dude, you suck, you need to go kill yourself and give up your scholarship and all this, that's when they go stupid and go too far with it.
Yeah.
But the play on the field is absolutely 100% open to critique.
Jesse made a good point. It's been a couple of weeks. It may have been on one of the post-game shows, or it may have been on our weekly show. I can't remember. But he made a point to say that you're not getting any of the top SEC guys. You're not getting SEC-style caliber players because, number one, we don't have any NIL money. Number two, who wants to come to Arkansas if you don't have any NIL money? You're getting Division II guys.
Trashes NIL every chance.
Yeah, we can't just let that slide. We always seem to hit that pretty hard.
That brings me to a personal opinion that I have, and I will gladly point this out. And if you want to come after me, at Razorback Zach 1 is my Twitter. I welcome the smoke. I really do. But we have an athletic director that does not give two about football.
I can't argue with that.
We do not. We have an athletic director that does not care about the football program. Because here's the thing.
Louder.
As long, and I'm about to get on my soapbox, boys. I'm sorry, but I've been holding this in for a week, and I was not on Thursday. As long as the football program is operating in the black, there is not a single change that is going to be made. Okay? Who in the world wants to donate money to a program that is not supported by the athletic director. An athletic director is strictly that. You are the head of the athletic program. You cannot pick favorites if you are the athletic director. You can't throw. Sorry, MC, I'm about to single out something. You can't pour all of your money and all of your passion behind the basketball program in hopes that that's going to save the athletic program. That's where everybody wants to get behind. You can't throw your money behind DVH in the baseball program. Football is the cash cow. I'm sorry.
No, it is.
That's just the way it is.
It is.
That's just the way it is, and that's why the football program has been mediocre since Jeff
Long.
Houston Nutt at best.
You had the
I'll get off
anomaly.
my soapbox and hand off the talking stick to MC.
You had the anomaly of Petrino and the 21-5 and all that. That's looking more and more to be like a fluke rather than what this program can be. I think you had the perfect storm happen. You had some really elite level recruits in state. I mean, let's not forget Joe Adams was headed out to USC to play for Pete Carroll. Let's not forget Broderick Green transferred back from USC. You had Ryan Mallett transferred down from Michigan. You had Tyler Wilson over at Greenwood. You had the Warren kids. I mean, good Lord, look at what came out of Warren at that time. The big three, Jarius Wright, Greg Childs, and the tight end. No, it wasn't Sprinkle. Y'all help me out. Chris Gregg. All three of those guys come out at the same time. I mean, it was a perfect storm, and the deeper we get into this, and the more that it seems like the expectations have been lowered to the point where, hey, let's just get 6 and get to a bowl game.
Well, okay, but MC, this is the thing, and this is what the Razorback fans have to understand. We're going to be, with the level of, and I said this on Dave's show, with the level of competition around us, Texas, LSU, Georgia,
Ole Miss.
Bama, Ole Miss, Arkansas is going to be a perennial 6-16. That's it.
And I'm sorry,
That's it.
I don't care what Lane's doing. I don't care what Keith Carter's doing. There is no reason that Ole Miss and Arkansas should be like this where they are right now. I got to lean back so I can even show this. Ole Miss is way up here right now. Arkansas is down here. If you look historically, those programs are almost even and almost on the same par.
There is a reason. There is a reason. You want to know what that reason is? It's a difference of $250,000. If Hunter, here's the thing. We are sitting right now at 28 and 29 in 5 years since 2020. 28 and 29. Had you just shelled out $250,000 more, Hunter Yurachek, and yes, I'm calling you out, and I hope this gets to you because the fans are fed up. Now, I'm not going to take a billboard out, but the thought has crossed my mind. Had you just shelled out $250,000 more, you'd be 41-17 and competing for an SEC championship.
That's
playoff spot.
That's the story. You know, there are starting to be some conflicting reports out there that he turned Arkansas down. I don't know. I don't know what's true, what's not. I know that he was in the running for the job, and then
Lane has even come out and said that job was mine. That job was mine, but they wouldn't take our offer. $250,000 more. That's it. We reached 250,000 people in a month.
How much difference do you think there would be in Edge NIL contributions right now if Arkansas was sitting at 41-17 over the last 5 years versus 28 and 29?
The money would be pouring in right now. The money would be pouring in right now. I have no doubt about that. But when and I'm not trying to get off into the weeds here because we're closing in on kickoff, but this has got to be said, okay? And I'll say it. MC and I both will say it because guess what? Yeah. We're not propagandists. We're not sunshine pumpers. But we're not negative Nancy's either. We're both realists. We're going to call it like we see it. If in your eyes, if that makes you think that we're not real fans, at Razorback Zach 1, at Inside Hog Pen.
I'm a little bit of a propagandist when it comes to hoops.
I'm talking strictly football.
Right. Yeah, I know.
No,
but I had to throw that out there.
You're swimming in the river of Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah, the river's still there, man. The river's there.
Which I will say this, because I didn't get to say it Thursday night. We lost. Season's over. Pack it in. I'm just kidding. You're 2 games in. Long season, buddy.
That's our behind the scenes running joke.
Yeah, only because I'm the one that's the part of that joke. No, but listen, when you have it, and again, I'm going to climb a little bit higher up on my soapbox here, and I'm sorry, you can knock me down here in a second. When you have an athletic director that comes out and just completely dog craps all over NIL, and then stands up at the Little Rock Touchdown Club and says, "Hey, if we could get 10,000 households to donate $100, what?
Yeah.
Why do you want me? Why should I donate to a program when the athletic director does not care himself?"
Well, and the lack of NIL money coming in specifically for football is a reflection on the fan base of we don't trust what we're seeing. We don't think it's a good, and I say we because I have contributed to the Edge. Now it was for a basketball deal, and that's kind of a different boat. But I did contribute, so I can say we. I don't believe in the direction of the football program right now. If I see something that makes me change my mind, and I believe in the direction of the program, I may throw them $10, $20. Whatever I'm feeling like, but I'm not going to go out and do it right now because I have no confidence in the direction of the football program.
It's the same story, different chapter since 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same story, different chapter. You come out, you might beat, again, you're looking at that Tennessee game going, okay, was that really us turning a corner, or was that Tennessee overlooking us?
Caught them on a bad night.
Okay? Because
look at what they've done since.
Yeah, exactly. Look at what LSU did to us. Look at what Ole Miss did to us 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and look what, the night we made LSU look like the 2019 LSU team, look at what's happened to them since then.
I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. It was said on a local radio station here on one of the post-game shows following one of the games. I can't remember which one. But a caller called in and said, there is progress being made. We can see it. I can see it. And one of the hosts, I'm not going to say who, says, you go on the road and you beat an Auburn and a Mississippi State team who are dead last in the SEC.
Yeah.
Are we really that much better than last year? No. So you beat the number 4 team in the country. Big freaking whoop. All right. I'm going to break my own rule, and I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it collectively as a team and as a coaching staff. We suck. There's no other. Look, I have beaten around the bush. I've. Oh crap! Hit the Jesse. Hit the break.
Okay, you saw it. All right.
I'll hit it.
Let me talk to you.
Oh, breaking news just keeps breaking, and this is just a wonderful day.
The beard is on top of it, man. He's
beard
on top
is on
of it
point today, and I look, man. He is pulling out all the stops. Sam Pittman says on pregame radio that he's not positive Arkansas quarterback Taylor Green is at 100% health entering the game today against Texas. He said Green is probably at around 90%, but he could get to 100% with the emotions of the game.
Again
with the confidence thing.
That last line.
Emotions.
That last line, he's basically saying he hopes that he can get there with the emotions of the game. Well, to quote one of my favorite movies and one of my favorite actors, Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption, hope is a dangerous thing, Andy.
Yeah. Here's the problem. I'm getting lit up right now.
Oh man,
I asked this a few weeks ago, and if you can see the question in the intro of our weekly show. What is Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. Hey, let's get into these comments as we're winding down here, MC. And Ronnie Ivy, since Jesse is hard at work keeping us updated on what's going on in pregame, I'll throw these comments up here. He says, Ronnie Ivy says, we're going to shock the college football world today. Go Hogs. Ronnie.
Ronnie, I hope you're right, brother. I hope you're right.
It is currently, what time is it? It is currently, 10:35 here at the Central Arkansas Hog Pen. I want whatever you're putting in your coffee, dude. I really do.
Hey, I hope you're right, brother. I hope you are. I hope we come back in the postgame and have to eat the biggest plate of crow that can be found in the state of Arkansas.
You're going to be in the Deerwood, so I'll be sitting in your
seat. Yeah. But I could still, if I see a crow, I may shoot it and eat it on sight. So
at least do me a favor though. At least cook it, because when Dave made me eat crow, I had to eat it cold and raw. So
yeah, that's not fun. Yeah.
Chuck Pendergrass says, as long as there's butts in the seats, nobody at the U of A cares about winning, and he's right.
I mean, Chuck is right in line with what you were throwing out, man.
He's right. Our sponsor for the Tailgate show, James Harris, is right now. UA is a track school, a track and field school, a soccer school, and a golf school. Soon to be a basketball school if you listen to MC. Chuck once again says the U of A will never pay what it takes to get a coach good enough for a championship or even an extremely competitive team. They will only, I think this is part 2 of what he was trying to say, they will only hire up-and-comers they can get on the cheap.
History shows that to be correct. You can go all the way back to when Frank was hiring coaches. He had a couple shots to land Jimmy Johnson, had a couple shots to land Barry Switzer. Wouldn't do it, opted for Ken Hatfield instead.
Ken's record at Arkansas wasn't that bad, though.
No. And Ken ended up being a good hire in retrospect. But if you look at it, you can hire Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, or Ken Hatfield.
You're going to go with Jimmy Johnson because
one of these things is not like the other.
Look at what he did at Miami.
Well, yeah, and I would have taken Switzer. Look what Switzer did. Switzer cheated his tail off, but he won at Oklahoma.
Hey, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Absolutely. And there is no cheating anymore. I mean, everything's legal now.
Everything's legal now, and you know the guys at SMU are going,
yeah.
The hell?
So I just,
here's the thing.
He's spot on with that comment, though, because, even when Houston Nutt was hired, Houston Nutt was not the household name that he became because of what he did at Arkansas and the success he had at Ole Miss. But if you look at that time, Tommy Tuberville was actually the name of that everybody was wanting.
Call him by his rightful name, Senator Tommy
Wingnut.
Tuberville.
Wingnut. That's his rightful name, right? Because of the big Mickey Mouse ears on the side, he looks like a wingnut.
Right.
So
you put aluminum foil on those ears, you're getting HBO on high def.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
But hey, we've got a couple of birthdays, and we're going to go ahead and shout these out. Of course, my dad, like I said, top of the show. And then, of course, James Harris, who is our sponsor for the Harris Made Chef Sevices Tailgate Show. And Cliff Wynn, who is a good friend of the show as well, although he is a Gator fan. So we won't hold that against him because they're having probably a worse year than we are. MC, as we're wrapping up, if you can, and Jesse, we're going to pull you in here too if you're available. Are you still there, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm back here.
Okay. Give me 3 positives that you hope to see today that could contribute to a Razorback win. And hope not being one of them.
Crickets.
Anyone? Bueller. Some of you guys are too young to remember that movie.
Don't get embarrassed.
Just keep it respectable.
Everybody keep a close eye on Zach. I'm about to put something in the private chat, and his head's going to explode.
Hold on. I got to get this out of my system, and I can't say it. I can't say it on live on air. Let's see if you guys can read my lips.
Wow. Okay. So, do we want to read that?
Sorry.
That's straight from Hutch. So it's
okay. So it's out there.
Okay, so can we, for the third time, now we have more.
Let me talk to you.
This just seems to be the day for breaking news around here. I'm telling you. This coming from Andrew Hutchinson on Twitter. I think he's still with Hawg Beat. The Hogs appear to have completely changed their starting secondary. Danico Slaughter at nickel is the only starter from the Ole Miss game still in the lineup.
But he's not at nickel, obviously.
But he's not at nickel. Based on pregame warmups, it's Hudson Clark and Keon Stewart at cornerback and Larry Worth and Miguel Mitchell at safety.
So
what?
So so you guys help me out here. When Clark has had his best games, has he not been at safety instead of corner?
I thought
He
gets
safety. Burned at corner safety. He can sit back there and spy and ball hawk, which is his talent.
That's where he's kind of made the good reputation of Hud Island. That's kind of where he made that, not at corner. We saw what happened to him when he's at corner in the Ole Miss game because it was one of the 8 or 9 touchdowns that Watkins had.
Hold on. They're breaking news again coming in on Twitter. Watkins just scored again.
Yeah, no doubt. But Watkins wore him out. So I don't understand. Maybe it pays off. Maybe this is the defensive staff just scratching their head and throwing stuff to the wall to see what sticks. I don't know. According to ESPN, we're about 24 minutes and 52 seconds away from kickoff.
Or you mean the ass kicking?
Yeah. With Baxter coming in with his comments, I would imagine the Pee Wee games are going to be a little closer and more competitive than what we're about to watch.
Right. Hey, if I don't remember right, shout out to our boy MC for being a color commentator on a football game. Or am I?
Yeah. I did. It was basketball, little high school basketball.
I heard a familiar voice, and I thought that sounds like my boy MC.
Yeah, I was actually pulling double duty that night because the setup we had, I was directing the live stream as well as doing color commentary. So,
well, listen, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We're about 15 minutes away from kickoff. If you're listening to us from the game, from a tailgate spot, y'all be safe today. Be careful. I know it's an 11 o'clock game, but if you're drinking some of the good juice, please be safe. Drive safe. If you're watching this from a watch party here within the boundaries of the state, you guys have fun. And Jesse and I will be here for post game, probably around 2 o'clock ish.
Yeah.
2. We are going to be welcoming all of your feedback, because like we do on every show. MC is going to be in the Deerwoods, so we will catch him on Thursday night.
Pew, pew.
But enjoy the game, everybody. Hopefully we keep it respectable. I usually end this with, hopefully Arkansas wins, but if you did not hear my score prediction on the Dave Ellswick show, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. I'm sorry, but I have zero confidence in this team, and I'm going to go 70-17.
I have no confidence, but I'm still throwing the horns down.
Hey,
I die.
I'm still
Till
here,
I
baby.
die, it's always going to be that.
Look at there, beat Texas. All right,
and if we happen to pull it off, we'll come on here and eat crow and drink Kool-Aid. How about that?
I will open the post-game show with, well, I didn't see that coming. But that's going to do it for us on the Harris Made Chef Services Tailgate Show. For Marcus, MC, Carlton, Jesse the Beard Thurman, I'm Razorback Zach. Enjoy the game, everybody. We'll see you in post-game.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics. We at Inside the Hog Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share that SeatGeek is a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not so good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Yeah!